Have you ever been curious as to what the crew does when you're out at port? What do they do all day while you are wandering around trying to find cheap souvenirs? Well, you may not know it, but this is often the time that the cruise practices its safety drills, and we stayed on board last week in St. John and saw an interesting activity. The cruise crew preparing for a cruise emergency on today's episode of the Lido Loca Cruise Show. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tony. Welcome back to the Lido Loca Cruise Show. If you enjoy cruising, consider subscribing. That way you don't miss out on any of our episodes. Well, let's talk about it. One of the most challenging things that could happen to you on a cruise ship would to be going overboard. And it's good to know that the crew drills exactly for this. Now, I've got video that happened right there in the harbor in St. John where the crew actually retrieves a dummy, a fake body from the water. Now, in my mind, I thought this would be a very expeditious and quick process, but even in the calm waters of St. John, the procedure seemed scarily slow. Now, I know that it has to be a particular way for safety, but I just did not understand what the process was until I watched these guys go through this drill. And I'm not saying slow is bad. I'm just saying in my mind, if I went into the water, I would be panicked and I would think that the response would be like a rushed kind of response. But thinking about it, a rushed response probably wouldn't be a successful response. So here's a few minutes of video of the crew from the MSC Divina retrieving someone who has gone overboard. I mean, it's a fake someone, but it's still cool to watch. I'll be back at the end to wrap it up, but check out this footage.
Tender boats, huh?
Yeah, they probably could be used for that, yeah.
Yeah, so pretty wild. I experienced the same thing when I went to Cuba. I saw a lifeboat drill where they dropped the whole set of lifeboats off one half of the ship just to see how long it would take them to deploy. So it is comforting to know that these drills are in place, that they are practicing, that they are anticipating what would happen in a worst case scenario, and that yes, if you do go overboard, they do have a way to get you back. And it was very fascinating to watch this to me. Calm seas, and it was still a process to get people back on board. Kind of reminds me of some cruise phobias. I've done a video on cruise phobias. I'll leave that linked if you want to check that out. The question for the comments today is, what is your cruise fear? Is going overboard something that you're afraid of? And what other kind of drill would you like to see? I think this was interesting. I'd never seen anything quite like this. Thank you so much for stopping by. Tony with the Lido Loca Cruise Show. And until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.